Do you know why some people live past 100 while others fade away soon after 70? The difference often comes down to a handful of small but deadly mistakes, habits that seem harmless yet quietly eat away at your strength, heart, and mind. And if you're over 70, avoiding these 5 stupid things might be the most powerful choice you ever make. Growing old doesn't have to mean growing weak. In fact, the years after 70 can be the healthiest, most peaceful, and most fulfilling of your life if you know what not to do. Unfortunately, most seniors unknowingly carry daily habits that silently sabotage their longevity. It's not the big diseases that end lives early, it's the tiny repeated acts that chip away at health one day at a time. In this video, we're going to uncover the 5 most dangerous mistakes that shorten the lives of older adults. These are behaviors most people don't even question, but each one quietly drains your vitality, clouds your mind, and weakens your heart. Stay with me until the end, because the first one will surprise you. It's something almost everyone does without realizing how destructive it truly is. If you're serious about living to 100, these are the traps you must avoid starting today. Now, let's get started. Number 1, neglecting regular movement and staying seated too long. One of the most damaging mistakes older adults make after 70 is believing that slowing down means staying still. Many think that resting more preserves energy, but in truth, too much sitting quietly drains it. The body was never designed for stillness, it was built to move, circulate, and breathe. When movement stops, everything else begins to decline. Blood flow slows, muscles weaken, and your heart loses its rhythm of strength. After 70, long hours of sitting, whether in front of the television, reading, or simply circulation weakens, and your arteries stiffen. Your metabolism slows down, your oxygen levels drop, and your brain receives less stimulation. The result, fatigue, confusion, and loss of balance, all of which accelerate aging faster than any wrinkle or gray hair. I once met a man named Paul, 78 years old, who spent most of his days watching sports and dozing in his recliner. He said, "I'm just taking it easy." But after a minor fall, doctors found his muscles so weak that even walking across the room felt exhausting. His body had forgotten how to move efficiently. Within months of physical therapy and light daily walking, his energy and appetite returned. He didn't need more medicine, he needed motion. You don't have to run marathons to stay young. Just 20 minutes of steady walking, stretching your legs, or light gardening can reignite circulation and keep your heart strong. Even simple habits like standing up every half hour, rolling your shoulders, or lifting light weights while sitting can make a profound difference. So if you want to live to 100, don't confuse rest with stillness. Rest heals. Stillness decays. Your body is a rhythm. Keep it moving, and it will keep you alive. Number 2, ignoring hydration and relying only on thirst. Another silent mistake that shortens the lives of many older adults is waiting until you feel thirsty to drink water. After 70, the body's natural thirst signal weakens, meaning that by the time you actually feel thirsty, dehydration has already begun. This may sound trivial, but chronic dehydration quietly damages nearly every major organ, especially the heart, kidneys, and brain. When your body lacks water, your blood becomes thicker and harder to circulate. Your heart has to pump with more force. Your blood pressure rises, and your kidneys strain. Older adults often underestimate how much water they need because their metabolism slows down, but the truth is, your body still loses moisture through breathing, urination, and perspiration, even when you're sitting still. Combine that with common medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or arthritis that deplete fluids, and dehydration becomes a quiet daily threat. I once knew a woman named Margaret, 81 years old, who fainted one summer afternoon while gardening. She hadn't eaten much and thought she'd been drinking enough tea. What she didn't know was that tea and coffee act as mild diuretics, they pull more water out of your body. Her doctor later explained that her dizziness, confusion, and dry mouth were all signs of long-term dehydration. Once she began drinking more water consistently, her blood pressure stabilized, her headaches disappeared, and her energy returned. The key is not to gulp down large amounts of water all at once, but to drink small, steady amounts throughout the day. Keep a glass of water within reach at all times. Add lemon slices or cucumber if plain water feels bland. Soups, fruits like melon or oranges, and herbal teas also count toward hydration. You don't need to measure every cup, but make it a ritual. Drink when you wake up. Drink mid-morning. Drink in the afternoon and again before bed, unless your doctor has restricted fluids for medical reasons. Hydration is one of the simplest, cheapest, and most effective ways to slow aging. It keeps your skin elastic, your joints flexible, your brain alert, and your heart steady. The difference between an exhausted body and a thriving one often begins with one glass of water. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, refusing to manage stress and emotions properly. One of the most foolish things a person over 70 can do is to ignore stress, anger, or grief, pretending that emotions no longer matter. Many older adults were raised to tough it out, believing that strength means silence. But holding emotions inside is not strength, it's slow self-destruction. The heart, the brain, and even the immune system all respond to emotional pressure. When you bury feelings instead of processing them, your body keeps the score, and the cost is high. Every time you experience tension, whether from family conflict, loneliness, or frustration, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These are meant for short bursts of survival, not long-term living. When they stay elevated day after day, they cause inflammation that damages the arteries, weakens the immune response, and accelerates the breakdown of muscle and bone. Many heart attacks, memory problems, and even digestive disorders in seniors are rooted not in age, but in years of suppressed stress. I once knew a retired teacher named Susan, 74 years old, who spent years pretending she was fine after her husband passed away. She kept busy, smiled for her children, and never talked about her sadness. But her blood pressure climbed steadily. Her sleep deteriorated, and she lost her appetite. Her doctor finally told her, "Your grief has moved into your body." When she began attending a support group and expressing her emotions honestly, her blood pressure normalized, and her energy began to return. The human heart doesn't age out of the need for expression. Talking, sharing, even crying, these are not signs of weakness, but of release. They signal to your brain that the danger has passed and it's safe to heal. On the other hand, traps the body in constant alert mode. This is why so many people who seem calm on the outside carry silent exhaustion within. At this stage of life, peace isn't a luxury, it's medicine. Emotional clutter weighs more heavily than physical weight. If you want to live long, you must keep your emotional arteries as clear as your physical ones. Every unspoken resentment is a blockage, every grudge, a clot. Clear them, and your energy will flow again. There's a reason centenarians around the world often describe themselves as light-hearted. They let go easily, laugh freely, and stay curious. They don't carry emotional baggage into tomorrow. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control whether you carry it forward. The lighter you travel emotionally, the longer you go. Number 4, eating too little or skipping meals to stay light. One of the most dangerous mistakes older adults make is eating too little, believing that smaller meals mean better health. Many seniors say, "I don't get hungry anymore," or "I'm eating less to keep my weight down." But after 70, undereating can quietly destroy muscle, weaken the heart, and starve the body of the nutrients it needs to stay alive and resilient. When your body doesn't get enough fuel, it begins to draw energy from your muscles. Muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, is one of the main reasons older people lose strength, balance, and independence. It also weakens the immune system, making it harder to recover from illness. The irony is that many seniors think they're doing the right thing by eating light, when in fact they're depriving their bodies of the protein, vitamins, and minerals that preserve longevity. Skipping meals also slows metabolism. The digestive system becomes sluggish when there are often just signs of malnutrition. I once met a man named Henry, 82 years old, who lived alone after his wife passed away. He said cooking for one person felt pointless, so he often had just toast and coffee for breakfast and a bowl of soup at night. Over time, he grew thinner, his face pale, and his steps unsteady. A nutritionist later told him his protein intake was less than half of what his body needed. Once he began eating small but balanced meals, eggs, fish, vegetables, and whole grains, his strength returned, and even his mood lifted. Food is not just fuel, it's information. It tells your body how to repair cells, produce hormones, and maintain brain function. Without enough nutrients, the body begins to shut down non-essential functions. First, skin elasticity fades, hair thins, wounds heal slower, and immunity weakens. Over time, this internal starvation ages the body from the inside out. Longevity is built meal by meal. Every bite is a vote for life or decline. So don't fear food. Respect it. At 70 and beyond, nourishment isn't about weight control, it's about staying strong enough to keep walking, thinking, and living with dignity. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, avoiding medical checkups and dismissing early warning signs. The final and perhaps most foolish mistake that costs many seniors years of life is ignoring medical checkups and brushing off early symptoms. Too many older adults believe, I feel fine, so I must be healthy, or worse, I'd rather not know. But pretending something isn't, and diseases move quietly. High blood pressure, diabetes, and heart issues often develop without pain or obvious signs. By the time symptoms appear, fatigue, blurred vision, or dizziness, the condition may already be advanced. Early detection doesn't just add years to your life, it protects the quality of those years. A simple blood test or heart scan could uncover a silent issue long before it becomes fatal. There's also a psychological trap many fall into. Some think that visiting doctors too often makes you feel sick, or that tests are unnecessary expenses. But the truth is, those few visits each year can make the difference between managing a condition and being consumed by it. Preventive medicine exists not to find disease, but to protect your independence. I remember a man named Edward, 79, who hadn't seen his doctor for over 5 years because he didn't want to hear bad news. One day, he collapsed during a walk, later learning he'd been living with severe hypertension and early-stage kidney failure. With timely care, he could have reversed much of the damage. Instead, his delay cost him years of good health. Ignoring small symptoms, fatigue, chest pressure, frequent urination, or persistent cough, is another deadly form of denial. These are your body's early alarms, quietly begging for attention. When you silence them with excuses, it's just old age, or, it will pass, you teach your body that its voice no longer matters. That neglect shortens more lives than most major diseases combined. Modern medicine isn't perfect, but it's a gift previous generations never had. Screenings for colon health, heart rhythm, bone density, and vision. And remember, your doctor is not your enemy, they are a partner in your longevity. Ask questions, bring notes, and never leave an appointment uncertain. Your body is a lifetime investment. Maintenance is not fear, it's wisdom. Longevity is not about luck, it's about attention. The people who reach 100 don't do it by ignoring their health, they do it by listening closely, consistently, and courageously to what their body is trying to say. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.